This monument, currently known as the Franchise Cross, has a historically erroneous name. Indeed, the real Franchise Cross was once erected on the Market Square, now Place de la République. It was a high wooden cross in front of which were made the publications, the proclamation of laws, ordinances and decisions of the public authority. It had its origin in the fact that the inhabitants of the cities, in the Middle Ages, had to face many burdens and obligations and were often tempted to move to other cities which were less constraining on the bourgeoisie. To counteract this phenomenon, the Count of Morhang, Simon de Salm, granted the inhabitants of the city a charter of liberation in 1345. As a guarantee of his sincerity, the Count had a copy of the charter buried in a pit in the center of the market square. So it was here that the real cross of franchise of Morhang was erected. Mayors and aldermen went there to give their judgments. The bourgeois who wished to leave the village had to stand before the cross and declare loudly before the people, "Messers, God bless you. I want to go," and the mayor, in turn, shouted 3 times, "He wants to go." When it came to pass that no bourgeois appeared to claim debts or denounce other facts, the bourgeois were allowed to leave the city and take their belongings, accompanied by the representatives of justice, to the outskirts of the ban. The presence of the cross is attested until the 18th century. The current Franchise Cross is located outside the old walls of Morhang, near the old German gate opening the ramparts in this area. This excludes any confusion with the true cross. Moreover, it is built of stone and not of wood like the original cross. It is probably an old votive cross, as it was customary to raise it near the city gates. The square-shaped base with curved edges is surmounted by 2 cubes in turn dominated by a cross adorned with a stone Christ and a banner without inscription. The upper cube bears the words, O Crux, Avenue, which translates as, Hail O Cross, a very common Latin inscription inviting passers-by to pray. The lower cube informs about the history of the monument. Franchise Cross, raised around 1730, Violomili Brisht, June 3, 1944, restored, solemnly, May 20, 1946. It is therefore established that a cross occupied the site before 1730, when the lower part of the cross originated, while the real Franchise Cross was erected on the Market Square, while the central part bearing the inscriptions is clearly more recent and undoubtedly dates back to the restoration after the Second World War. Indeed, during the occupation of Morhang by the Germans, it was overthrown and broken on June 3, 1944. During the restoration of 1946, the upper part of Calvary, the cross and the crucified Christ, was replaced by a new one. In fact, there are differences between the current cross and the old cross, which we know from a photograph. The cross will be restored again in 2006 during the municipality's campaign to restore the small local heritage. It may be interesting to question the possibility of a link between the importance of the Franchise Cross in the history of the town of Morhang and the arms found on the coat of arms of the town, defined in heraldic terms as, from azure to the world crossed by gold, bent by sand. Hypothesis.